Welcome back. Here we are at step 2, where you get to tell your story. I told you we'd give you a table of contents. If, as we said, if the funding organization doesn't have a format they want you to use, this is a really good one. Trust me. So, what we're going to do is, you'll become very familiar with this. Going to walk you through it step by step. We'll start with the project summary. Briefly, you're going to say who you are, who your organization is. You're going to talk about your project, how much money you're asking for, and how long the project will last. You might say, wait a minute, I thought we did that on the title page. I know. But remember, the people who are getting your proposal probably get lots of proposals. They're going to read them quickly. They aren't necessarily going to study them. So it doesn't hurt to repeat the few key things about what you're doing. So we're going to say, and I'll show you an example, we're going to say once again what this project is all about. So here's an example from our villager training program. What we're saying here is this Village Crafts Cooperative is going to bring some skilled artisans to some villages. They're going to train the villagers. I'm going to go a little bit quickly here. You can pause if you want to read every word here. But basically what we're saying is we're going to bring some artisans to train the villagers. The villagers are going to be able to sell their baskets. And in the last paragraph we say there was a pilot project. In other words, a trial, a short project just to see if this thing works. We did it, it was successful, so now we want this money, $3,184, to bring a 6-week training program to 3 villages in northeastern Cambodia. You might notice that we are saying a little bit more than what we said in the title page, and as each step of the proposal proceeds, we're going to provide more and more detail. What I'd like you to do with the project summary is write it. Don't worry too much about it, because we will come back to this as we work through the rest of the proposal. Because, and here's what I have learned working with all kinds of people on proposals. As you work through all the details, you are going to discover something you didn't think about when you first wrote the project summary. So don't worry, get it down. We will come back and we will refine it, and we will make sure that it is just perfect before we submit the proposal. Okay, let's move on. This is the heart of your proposal. We're calling it the overview, and again, this is something that a busy reader will spend some time in. They may not spend as much time lower down in the table of contents with all of the detail. You need it there, but they may not pay quite as much attention to it. But up here in the overview, this is the heart of your proposal. So the statement of the problem. Here's where you say, look, there has to be something that's needed. Because if there isn't something that's needed, we don't need your project. So here's where you're going to talk about, you can call it a problem, you can call it an issue if you want. You're going to talk about it in terms of what is the need? Is this something very urgent? Is this a unique opportunity? Would this be the first time something has ever been done? Is this something that's never been seen before? What is special? Perhaps this provides a missing piece in a history. You're trying to demonstrate what is the value of solving this problem. It's got to be a pretty important problem. So let's look at our example. Very simple, couple of sentences. Our problem here is that in the rural areas of Cambodia, the villagers have difficulty earning a living, and traditional crafts are dying out. That's the problem. The villagers have trouble making money, and traditional crafts are dying out. These are the things we want to address. So now we're going to go to the rest of our overview. We're going to look at the solution and why we will succeed and what the outcomes are going to be. Okay, here's the solution. And again, I'm going to go quickly here. You can pause the video and read this in detail. But essentially, now we're going to talk even in a little more detail about what our project is. We're going to go to 3 villages. We're going to find 4 villagers in each one. These master craftsmen will teach the skills. In that middle paragraph, you'll see that the villagers are going to work on their own afterwards with some supervision. And finally, in the 3rd paragraph, the villagers will be able to sell their baskets. And now we're going to say, yeah, it could be in local markets, or we have nonprofit shops in some larger cities where they could sell their baskets. So we're learning a little bit more about what this project is. So that is the solution to the problem that the villagers need money and the crafts are dying out. But when you think about it, maybe other people or organizations could also undertake this project. So why are we going to be the ones who are the best ones to do it? So what we say here is we think the program is going to be successful because we have a track record. We have done other training programs. Also, we did that pilot program. And we have enlarged our training team, so we now have these 3 master basket makers. Okay, obviously your situation is going to be different. What you want to do here in the success factors section is tell us briefly about, could be your experience as an organization, maybe it's your team, maybe you have some experts. Tell us why you are going to be successful. And then you have to tell us about the outcomes. This is where you talk about what you're going to accomplish, how you're going to measure success or evaluate the outcome. So here, and again, you can pause and read all the detail here if you wish. Basically what we're saying is after the program, we will have trained 12 villagers, and we explain how they're going to be able to make some money. And then in the 2nd paragraph, especially at the end, we say the villagers will be trained, the broader public will be able to purchase and enjoy the baskets, and a key part of Cambodian culture will be preserved. This is where you hope that the funder is going to say, yes, yes, that's what we want to do. Your project is going to help us achieve the kinds of outcomes we want to see, in this case in Cambodia. So that is the heart of your proposal. You've talked about the problem, how you're going to solve it, why you'll be successful, and what you're going to accomplish. Okay. When you're ready, come back for step 3 and we'll talk about the details.